Hi, I'm Cheryl, a 65-year-old retired sugar and processed carb addict. I live in Lake Chapala, Mexico with my husband, Andy. In this video, I'm sharing something that I've discovered keeps sugar and carb addicts like us trapped, and what finally helped Andy and I start breaking free 2 years ago. I'm going to use it to get back on track, and I'm betting it's the opposite of what you've been doing, which is to find a food plan that offers lots of great choices every week and go all in. My solution is going to be take variety off the table altogether. And hang with me if your first reaction is to disagree, because I get it. No variety seems like the worst possible way to succeed. But here's the truth. When you've spent decades in a toxic cycle with sugar and carbs, every new food choice becomes a negotiation with your addiction. Your hijacked brain runs wild. Could I have the chicken? Oh, maybe the pasta. Or both. Oh, and a little garlic bread wouldn't hurt. And just like that, one decision turns into 50 tiny negotiations with your addict. And they win most. I know, because I've lived it. For 45 years, my weight's been a relentless roller coaster, up and down the scale, never more than a few days at a time at the same weight. I've gained and lost 30 pounds, 50 pounds, even 100 pounds, multiple times. Last year, I was on the cover of Women's World magazine for losing 100 pounds, 70 of it on Carnivore. And yet, I immediately turned around and gained most of it back. Sound familiar? It was like a cautionary tale in the tabloid aisle. But I am done with that ride. I used to believe that the key to staying on track was keeping lots of food choices on hand so I wouldn't get bored and fall into the carb ditch. But that was a lie that my addict brain was feeding me, because boredom isn't the enemy for people like us. It's something I call craving overdrive. See, variety lights up our sugar addict and carb addicted brains like a drug. Every new flavor, every extra option is a dopamine hit. One more way to keep us hooked. You know that feeling at a restaurant when they hand you that 12-page menu? Non-addicts look at it and go, geez, wow, what a lot of choices. Or, oh, what a lovely selection. But addicts like us, our brains fire up, and we end up ordering something that, we later regret. That's where the repetitive meal method comes in. 2 years ago, when I was on track and down 100 pounds, it helped calm the chaos in my brain. The food noise didn't go away entirely, but it did quiet down because I didn't have to make decisions. Meals were automatic. Now, I'm going to be honest, it's not working yet. This time around, I'm still going crazy in my brain. But that's not because this method doesn't work. It's because my addiction got so loud again, and I'm still off track. But I know this method is the way back because it did work. And if it once worked, it can work again. So no, my brain hasn't gone quiet yet, but I'm trusting this method to get me there again. And if you've never tried it, I think it honestly could change everything. So let's break down why RMM is the game changer for out-of-control sugar and processed carb addicts. Here's why it works. First, it kills craving overdrive. Every food choice is a chance for your addiction to hijack your brain. The more options you have, the more your brain lights up, rationalizing why you're craving that sugary treat. RMM eliminates choices. You select one or two simple meals, like we selected burger patties, and stick to them. No menu, no debate, no dopamine roller coaster. A 2018 study in appetite found that fewer food choices leads to less overeating and greater satisfaction because the brain isn't overstimulated. Second, this will rewire your reward system. Sugar and processed carbs, like I said, they hit that same dopamine pathway as heroin and cocaine. And variety keeps those pathways firing making every meal a mini addiction cycle, whereas RMM starves the cycle with predictable meals. Some people respond within days or weeks. Others, like me, who've ridden that roller coaster hard for decades, still see results in a couple of months. It's not willpower. It's actually shutting down craving overdrive so your brain stops chasing that next hit. Third, it builds a habit that sticks because we all know habits are the key to lasting change and repetition builds them. By eating the same meals, you train your brain to see mealtime as just another routine rather than a buffet. A 2020 study in Nature showed repetitive behaviors reduce cognitive load and free mental space for goals like weight loss. And finally, it's sustainable for addicts like us. Most diets are too complicated. Keto recipes with 12 ingredients, fasting schedules, calorie apps. It's a trap for craving overdrive. RMM is stupidly simple. No cookbooks, no nutrition degree. You just plan and follow it, and your addict brain will scream for a hit for a while. For me, our RMM, it's pre-made burger patties, ketchup, and mayo twice a day. My goal is to get down to just plain seasoned patties like we did 2 years ago, but that took us 4 months of slowly ratcheting down the carbs to zero. So for now, the condiments are my bridge to get us there, and this week, it is starting to stick. People think repetitive eating is boring, but boredom is our superpower. Boredom means craving overdrive isn't running the show. Boredom means you're winning. Boredom means you're literally rewiring your addict brain. Now let's talk about how I make RMM work here in Lake Chapala, Mexico. When we went carnivore for the first time 2 years ago, we explored all kinds of meat and seafood, which are fresh and affordable and plentiful here. And I'm going to take you on a field trip around the area soon. So I want you to subscribe so you don't miss it. But in the end, we discovered that burger patties are the key to our success because of our addiction. Then we experimented with 70-30 and 75-25, and for a little while, we even added pork, ground pork. But we landed on pre-made seasoned patties from a local butcher, and we're going to take a trip there in that upcoming video as well. Right now, we know the key to getting out of this carb ditch and back on track is to always have plenty of our pre-made patties in both the fridge and the freezer. And when we find ourselves in the kitchen between meals, searching for something to eat, the question is, are you burger patty hungry? If it's yes, then we'll cook up a couple in the air fryer in just 14 minutes. But if it's no, that doesn't sound good, then guess what? That means we're having an addiction craving. No. So as of this week, we either cook and eat a patty or we do without. But we're back on track and settled into the groove of RMM, and that is a big freaking deal. And when we feel like we're not still white knuckling it, we're going to add pot roast, chicharrones, grilled salmon. But right now we are in the ditch, and the only way to get out is one burger patty at a time. Here's where I'm at today. Last week, I gave you my word that I'd get on the scale every day because not doing that guarantees I stay in Lili land. And I did it. And it's working. The scale went in the right direction. This morning, I weighed 150.8 pounds, and that's down 2 pounds from last week. I've decided to take a brand new approach to how I track my weight and my goal. It's one I haven't tried before, so we're going to see together if it works. Instead of tracking what I've lost since January 1st or even the start of the channel or the start of the month, I'm shifting my mindset and I'm going to count down to my goal weight, and that's 110 pounds. So as of today, I've got 40.8 pounds to go. It's not going to be about where I started. It's going to be about how close I'm getting to freedom. Food-wise, like I said, we're on RMM with our pre-made burger patties with ketchup and mayo twice a day, which I know it's feeding my sugar gremlin. But this week, It's kept me from making even worse choices like buying an entire cheesecake, which you can check out in other videos. My fingers, though, they're getting worse. I'll show you a picture right here. And I know that once they start getting better, it's still going to take months for them to fully heal. So I got to get serious about removing inflammatory foods. And that means the snacks have got to go. I've got to get off the fake pork rinds, Cheetos, and Doritos. And because it worked to give you my word that I'd get on the scale daily, this week I'm giving you my word that I am not snacking as of this minute going forward. And that's going to be a tough one because I'm telling you the urge is overpowering, but I'm going to do it. If I need something, it's going to have to be in my burger patty hungry. And I'll tell you next week about how I'm doing. So you have to subscribe so you don't miss it. And let me know in the comments, what's one thing you can do this week to move yourself forward toward food freedom? 2 weeks ago, I promised you I'd calculate my sedentary calories with a TDEE calculator, and I did because I'm doing nothing but sitting on the couch. So maintenance is 1,400 calories a day. I'm aiming for 1,200 so I can lose weight at about 1.5 pounds a week, slow and steady. On MyFitnessPal, my macros are set at 70% fat, 30% protein, 0 carbs, 93 grams of fat, 90 grams of protein a day. With the burger patties, we're nailing the fat, but we are low on protein. But with my fingers so badly split, I can't do eggs or cheese because those make it worse right now. I am just that sensitive and so inflamed right now. So it is what it is. I know protein has to be addressed when I've calmed down the addiction and the inflammation. The biggest win, this, hitting record and showing up, being honest, it's helping. So here's what I want to know from you. Have you ever tried eating the same meals every day? Does the idea make you cringe because it sounds so freaking boring? Or does it sound like it could be relief from craving overdrive? More importantly, I want to know, honestly, what's your biggest food trigger? Is it variety, stress eating, social situations? What about that 3 p.m. energy crash that sends you to the vending machine at work? So to wrap this up, I want to share that this journey forward, it's not about fitting into smaller clothes. So I don't have to keep carting around those 3 jumbo carry-on bags with clothes size 2 to 20, although that is important. It's really about freedom from food obsession, physical pain, and from the freaking voice in my head that goes 24/7. I don't want to keep hearing why I'm such a failure and that I'm eating wrong. And next week, I'm going to dive deep into lipedema and lymphedema because I got diagnosed and learned how keto and carnivore is the key to reducing that swelling in my legs and arms. I really want to thank you for tuning in, and I invite you to join me on this journey so we can get off this weight loss roller coaster forever, because together we can succeed, one day at a time, one meal at a time. See you next week. And if you want to learn more about my journey, watch this video next.